Men, dating apps have made cheating and exploring other options easier than ever before. What used to require going to bars or social events to meet potential affair partners now happens from her phone while sitting next to you on the couch. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. Sign 1. She's excessively protective of her phone in ways that go beyond normal privacy. When phone protection escalates beyond reasonable privacy to extreme measures, sleeping with phone under pillow, taking it into bathroom every single time, panicking if you pick it up innocently, changing passwords without explanation, adding biometric locks you can't bypass, or positioning herself so screen is never visible to you. This excessive protective behavior reveals something on that device, requiring extreme concealment, and dating apps are most common reason for this level of phone security. What this sign reveals? This reveals her phone contains evidence that would immediately expose betrayal if discovered. Dating apps live on phones, and active app use means matches, messages, photos, and conversations that would instantly prove she's engaging with other men romantically. The extreme protection isn't about general privacy. It's about preventing you from seeing specific apps or content that would end relationship immediately. Normal privacy is keeping phone face down, having password, not wanting partner to read all messages. Extreme protection is never letting phone out of physical possession. Immediate panic if you touch it. Defensive aggression if you ask about security measures, or technical sophistication in hiding content that suggests substantial effort invested in concealment. The escalation from normal to extreme indicates what's being hidden has escalated. Notice when protective behavior increased. If she was previously casual with phone and suddenly implemented fortress-level security, the change indicates new content requiring new protection level. Dating app downloads often correlate with sudden phone security increases because apps create evidence requiring protection that didn't exist before. Watch what happens during moments when phone is vulnerable. If she leaves room momentarily without phone and rushes back seeming anxious, if phone being out of her possession for seconds creates visible stress, if she seems unable to relax when phone isn't under her control, anxiety reveals she's constantly worried about discovery of app content. Pay attention to how she reacts to your proximity to phone. If she angles away when using it near you, if she stops what she's doing when you get close, if your presence near phone changes her behavior, reactive positioning reveals screen content she's protecting from your casual observation. Dating apps being open, when you approach, creates need for protective screen angling. Observe whether protection extends to specific apps. If general phone access is somewhat available but specific apps have additional locks, if she closes certain apps immediately when you're near, if messaging or social platforms have extra security, app-specific protection reveals those particular apps contain content requiring concealment beyond general phone privacy. Why this sign indicates dating apps? This indicates dating apps because the level of phone protection required to hide active dating app use is extreme. Apps contain profiles stating she's available, conversations with men she's pursuing or being pursued by, photos she's sharing, and plans for meetings. This evidence is relationship ending if discovered, requiring protection level that goes far beyond normal privacy into territory of aggressive concealment. Sign 2, she has apps hidden in folders or using disguised icons that don't look like dating apps. When you notice apps organized in ways that seem designed to hide them, dating apps buried in folders labeled utilities or work, apps with changed names or generic icons that don't reveal what they actually are, or organization system that seems deliberately deceptive rather than functional. This strategic app concealment reveals active effort to prevent you from seeing dating apps even if you briefly access phone. What this sign reveals? This reveals she's using technical methods to hide dating apps in plain sight. Modern phones allow app organization, icon customization, and folder creation. Women using dating apps while in relationships exploit these features to conceal apps. Tinder might be buried 3 folders deep in a folder you'd never open. Bumble might have icon changed to look like weather app. The technical concealment shows premeditation and understanding that you might see phone screen, so apps themselves must be disguised. The sophistication of hiding methods indicates how concerned she is about discovery. Simple hiding, apps on last screen, shows basic concealment. Elaborate hiding, apps in nested folders with misleading labels, icons changed to appear innocent, or apps hidden in ways requiring specific knowledge to find, shows substantial effort invested in preventing discovery even during casual phone access. Notice if app organization seems unusually complex. If she has dozens of folders with specific labels, if organization seems more complicated than necessary, if system appears designed more for concealment than convenience, excessive organization might be hiding apps in complexity. Normal organization is functional. Concealment organization is deliberately confusing. Watch for folders with generic names in unusual places. If there's folder labeled MISC or Other or Old Apps tucked away, if folders exist with names that don't suggest checking them, if categorization seems designed to discourage opening certain folders, naming strategy reveals concealment purpose. Folders labeled to avoid investigation hide apps she doesn't want found. Pay attention to whether certain screens are avoided. If she navigates phone in ways that skip certain screens. If she never goes to particular pages when using phone around you. If navigation patterns suggest avoiding areas, avoidance reveals those areas contain apps she doesn't want you to see. Dating apps might be on screens she systematically avoids displaying. Observe if app icons seem inconsistent with what they should be. If you briefly see phone and notice unfamiliar icons, if apps are present you don't recognize, if icons don't match standard appearance of common apps, changed or unfamiliar icons might be disguised dating apps. Some apps allow icon customization specifically to enable hiding in plain sight. Why this sign indicates dating apps. This indicates dating apps because women actively using them while in relationships know discovery means immediate relationship end. Technical concealment through folders, changed icons, or organizational hiding shows understanding that casual phone observation could expose apps, so apps themselves must be hidden. The effort invested in concealment correlates with severity of what's being hidden, active dating app profiles. Sign 3. Her phone battery drains much faster than normal. Despite similar usage patterns, when her phone battery, that used to last full day, suddenly needs charging by afternoon, when battery drain is noticeably faster, without explanation like new phone or old battery, when she's constantly on charger, despite seemingly unchanged usage patterns, rapid battery consumption reveals background app activity consuming power, and dating apps with constant matching, messaging, and notification checking are notorious battery drains when actively used. What this sign reveals. This reveals apps running in background consuming significant power. Dating apps drain batteries faster than most other apps because they involve constant connectivity, checking for matches, refreshing potential connections, maintaining message threads, sending notifications, updating locations. Active dating app use creates measurable battery drain that becomes noticeable when app activity is extensive. The battery drain correlation with dating apps is strong because women actively using apps check them frequently throughout day. Each time app opens, it refreshes content, checks messages, updates matches, and consumes battery. Multiply this by dozens of checks per day, add background notifications and location tracking, and battery drain becomes significant and observable. Notice if battery drain started suddenly without phone change, if battery performance was normal and suddenly degraded without new phone or aging battery explanation, if change coincided with other suspicious behavioral changes. Timing suggests new app activity creating drain. Dating app downloads often correlate with sudden battery performance decline. Watch how often she needs to charge phone. If phone that used to make it through day now needs midday charging, if portable chargers suddenly became necessary accessories, if she's constantly concerned about battery level, increased power consumption indicates increased app activity. Heavy dating app use requires frequent charging. Pay attention to whether battery drain seems consistent with visible phone use. If she doesn't appear to be using phone more than usual but battery drains faster, if visible usage doesn't explain power consumption, disconnect suggests background app activity you're not seeing. Dating apps running in background drain battery, even when not visibly being used. Observe if she's defensive about battery drain questions. If you mention her battery seems to die quickly and she becomes defensive. If she provides vague explanations about battery problems. If topic creates discomfort, defensiveness reveals awareness that battery drain would logically lead to questions about what's consuming power. Questions she can't answer honestly. Why this sign indicates dating apps? This indicates dating apps because they're among the most battery-intensive apps due to constant connectivity requirements. GPS location updates, continuous matching algorithms, message notifications, profile browsing, and frequent checking create power consumption that becomes noticeable. Sudden battery drain without other explanation often indicates dating app activity consuming power in background. Sign 4. She exhibits classic dating app user behaviors, constant swiping motions or suspicious app switching. When you notice repetitive swiping motions while she's on phone, quick app switching when you approach, patterns of checking phone for brief moments, repeatedly throughout day, or thumb movements consistent with scrolling through profiles rather than other activities. These physical behaviors reveal dating app interaction patterns that are distinctive and recognizable even without seeing screen content. What this sign reveals? This reveals her physical interaction with phone matches dating app usage patterns. Swiping left and right through profiles creates distinctive motion. Quick checks to see new matches or messages create brief but frequent phone interactions. Sudden app switching, when approached, reveals she's on app she needs to hide. Physical behaviors leak through even when screen content is concealed. Dating app usage has characteristic patterns because app interactions are distinctive. Unlike reading articles or scrolling social media, dating apps involve repetitive similar actions, swiping through profiles, checking matches, reading brief messages, responding with short replies. These interaction patterns create observable behavior even without screen visibility. Notice rhythmic, repetitive swiping. If you see her making left-right thumb motions repeatedly while staring at phone, if pattern seems consistent with judging, sorting, rather than scrolling or reading, swiping motion reveals profile browsing. Dating apps are designed around swiping mechanic that creates distinctive physical interaction pattern. Watch for very brief phone checks. If she checks phone for literal seconds, dozens of times per day. If checks seem too brief to accomplish anything substantial, brief checking pattern suggests looking for notifications about matches or messages. Dating app users check frequently for new matches in pattern of many brief checks rather than fewer longer sessions. Pay attention to quick app switching. If you approach and she quickly swipes away from app she was in, if thumb motion suggests closing or minimizing, if there's visible rush to change what's on screen when you get near, switching behavior reveals app she was in can't be seen by you. Dating apps trigger this switching reflex. Observe her focus and emotional responses. If she smiles at phone in ways suggesting interacting with someone rather than consuming content. If emotional responses suggest social interaction, amusement, interest, annoyance, rather than information consumption, responses reveal person-to-person interaction. Dating app conversations create interpersonal emotional responses. Why this sign indicates dating apps. This indicates dating apps because the physical interaction patterns they require are distinctive. Swiping through profiles, frequent brief checks for matches, quick switching when discovered, and emotional responses to conversations create observable behavioral signature. Even without seeing screen, dating app use reveals itself through characteristic physical and emotional patterns that differ from other phone activities. Sign 5. She's suddenly more interested in her appearance and taking more photos of herself. When interest in appearance increases noticeably, new attention to fitness, updated wardrobe, changed hairstyle, more makeup effort, increased selfie taking, especially when improvements aren't primarily for your benefit or occasions with you, appearance investment reveals audience beyond you that she's trying to impress. Dating apps require photos, and women seeking attention there invest in appearance for profile pictures and for potential in-person meetings. What this sign reveals. This reveals she's presenting herself to new audience and putting effort into appearance for people beyond current relationship. Dating app success depends heavily on photos. Women creating or maintaining profiles need attractive current photos, which drives selfie taking and appearance improvement. The investment in looking better serves profile enhancement and preparation for meeting people from apps. The correlation between dating app use and appearance investment is strong because apps are visually driven platforms. Your profile is primarily photos. Matches happen based largely on physical appearance. Women seriously using apps understand this and invest accordingly in looking their best for profile pictures and potential dates. Appearance investment that doesn't benefit current relationship often benefits intended future ones. Notice if appearance changes coincide with other signs. If increased appearance focus happens alongside phone secrecy, battery drain, or other indicators, combined signs strengthen conclusion. Isolated appearance improvement might be personal. Appearance improvement plus dating app signs reveals who the real audience is. Watch whether improvements are for you or for others. If she looks better when going out without you than when spending time with you, if effort increases for activities excluding you, if appearance investment doesn't translate to your relationship benefit, effort is for someone else's attention. Dating profiles and app dates get the upgraded appearance. Pay attention to selfie frequency and style. If selfie taking dramatically increased, if photos are being taken in ways suggesting profile picture purposes, good lighting, flattering angles, multiple similar shots to choose best one, if photo taking seems more purposeful than casual, increased photography serves app profile needs. Dating profiles require multiple good photos. Observe whether she's asking others to take photos. If she's recruiting friends to photograph her, if photos are being taken in various settings and outfits, if there's project-like quality to photo accumulation, systematic photography suggests building photo library for profiles. Women serious about dating apps create extensive photo selection. Why this sign indicates dating apps. This indicates dating apps because platforms are photocentric and success depends on appearance. Women actively using apps need current attractive photos for profiles and need to look their best for potential dates. Increased appearance investment in photo taking that doesn't primarily benefit current relationship reveals effort is for app presence and potential connections being built through those platforms. Sign 6. She receives notifications at odd hours from apps you don't recognize. When phone buzzes with notifications late at night or early morning, When sounds or vibrations come from apps you don't recognize if you briefly see screen. When notification patterns suggest messaging or social interaction with people on schedules, different from her normal social circle. Unusual timing and unfamiliar sources reveal communication with people she's met through dating platforms who don't align with her known social network. What this sign reveals. This reveals communication with people outside her normal social circle, whose contact patterns suggest dating or romantic interest rather than friendship. Dating app matches often message at times when they're free from their own obligations, late at night, early morning, lunch breaks. These unusual hour notifications reveal conversations with people whose communication patterns don't match her existing friends or family. Notifications are particularly revealing because they're harder to control than intentional phone use. She can hide active app use, but notifications announce incoming communication. Late-night messages from Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, or other apps create notification patterns that expose active app presence even when she's trying to hide usage. The timing and frequency reveal active conversations. Notice notification timing patterns. If phone consistently receives messages late at night when legitimate friends would be asleep, if morning notifications arrive before normal social circle would be contacting her, if timing suggests someone on different schedule or someone messaging when their partner is asleep, unusual timing reveals dating app connections. Watch her reaction to notifications. If certain notifications create visible excitement, if she seems eager to check specific messages, if emotional response to notification seems disproportionate, reactions reveal messages are from people she's romantically interested in rather than casual friends. Dating app conversations create anticipatory excitement. Pay attention to notification frequency from unfamiliar sources. If you notice regular notifications from apps you don't recognize, if pattern suggests ongoing conversations with multiple people, if frequency indicates active social interaction beyond known relationships, volume reveals multiple active connections typical of dating app use. Observe whether she silences notifications around you. If phone is audible when you're not present, but silent when together, if she systematically disables notifications when you're around, if silencing seems strategic, behavior reveals notifications would expose something she doesn't want you hearing or seeing. Dating app notifications get silenced to prevent discovery. Why this sign indicates dating apps. This indicates dating apps because apps generate notifications when matches message, when new matches occur, or when activity happens. These notifications arrive at times reflecting when other users are active, often late night or early morning, when they're free from partners. Unfamiliar app notifications at odd hours reveal dating platform activity and communication with people from apps.